Do you ever struggle with meal prep, or you find yourself looking in the kitchen and some of your produce has gone bad because you just didn't get to it this week? Well, welcome to the Silly Kitchen. I want to give you my top 4 meal prep tips that might just give you a little bit of less of a headache and a little bit more organization and less food waste too in your kitchen and your weekly dinners. Let's jump right to it with my first tip, which is going grocery shopping. Do you make a list? Do you plan your meals each week? If you don't, this is huge. If you go to the grocery store and you just pick up a bunch of stuff because you think you need it without an actual plan, you may not get to it. What I recommend is making a grocery list. I am old school and I still like writing it down on a piece of paper, but I do check flyers and apps for different promotions and things like that so that I can plan out my week. The other thing is what I just said, plan your week. So if you're doing groceries once a week and you know, let's kind of put it in our brains what we're gonna do for this week. Monday, we're gonna do soup and sandwiches. Tuesday, we're gonna do tacos. Wednesday, pasta. Thursday, let's make some stir fry. And Friday, let's do charcuterie night with a glass of wine. That's my Friday night, so that's probably why I put it in there. So if you plan out your meals that way, you can stretch out all of your produce, proteins, and your ingredients. Check your cupboards, check your pantry, make sure that you're not doubling up and buying things that you actually don't need. And then when you go to the grocery store with your list and knowing what meals you're gonna make, you can decide, well, are we having chicken tacos? Because if chicken is on sale, we can use chicken for chicken tacos and we can do chicken with pasta. Now you've got enough chicken for 2 meals. If I'm buying peppers and onions and lettuce and things like that, you can stretch those out throughout different meals. So if I want to do tomatoes and peppers and onions in my tacos on Tuesday, I can also use those on Friday on my charcuterie board. See where I'm getting? Planning helps you get organized, stay on budget. We're not going to waste as much food, and it's going to make Monday to Friday so much easier because you're like, I know what I'm making tonight. Okay. Tip number 2, let's get right from the grocery store. You're home, you have all your stuff. Don't put it away. Don't put it in the fridge and forget about it. If you've got lettuce, celery, carrots, peel them, wash them, chop them, and get them all ready for the week. If you're going to be eating this stuff regularly, you don't need to worry about it lasting 2 weeks. I mean, you want to eat your vegetables fresh. So get all of that prepared, and that way, when you go in the fridge, all you have to do is maybe give it a quick chop to throw it in your stir fry, or clean it up a little bit the way you want to chop it perfectly for your charcuterie board, whatever it might be. But that way, when you go in the fridge, it's not another 15-20 minutes of cleaning, chopping, figuring life out. It's already there for you, ready to go. We're going right over to tip number 3, which is invest in good storage containers. Whatever those containers might be to you, whatever you're looking for specifically, just make sure they're quality. They're gonna keep your stuff nice and fresh. They're, durable, reusable, all of that stuff, because that will help your produce last longer in the fridge. Now, the other thing that I like about Great Tupperware is that these types of containers, I love using these. Not only can I put my carrots and celery with a little bit of water in it underneath to keep it in the fridge, but I love these as freezer containers. So if I'm making a big batch of soup or stew, leftovers go in here and they go in the freezer. There are so many options with really good storage containers. I just really recommend, if you have good ones, you have the ones that stack the way you like them and organized in your fridge and freezer, you're gonna use them more. And that way, again, we are saving time, money, space, all of that good stuff. The other thing is I'm a Ziploc bag fan. So things like shucking corn, I can put them in a Ziploc and they're good for a couple days until I need to use them. I do the same thing with lettuce. I'm gonna wash my romaine, get all the dirt off of it, make sure it's all clean, and put it in a Ziploc bag with a paper towel after I've dried my lettuce a bit, because that way when I want a sandwich or I want to chop a little bit up for a salad or something like that through the week, it's ready, it's clean, and it's still crisp in that bag. I know some of you are going to give me crap for using plastic bags with the Ziplocs, but I promise you, I'm trying to be as mindful as possible with them. They are very convenient. And the other thing is, if I'm putting clean lettuce in there, I can reuse that bag multiple times. I can rinse it out, let it dry, and use it again. So if you're not a Ziploc fan, I'm sure you have a different way of doing your lettuce. That's cool, but I do like the plastic Ziploc bags for a couple of those little things, and I don't buy them often. I use them, reuse them, and try to be really mindful of that too. And for tip number 4, my last tip for this video, I sort of alluded to it a little bit, but it's kind of twofold. So batch cooking. If you're gonna make a big pot of soup, double the recipe and then use your storage containers to put some in the freezer so that if there is a weekend or a night that you're like, I don't have time to do anything, pop it out of the freezer, warm it up, you've got your dinner. Awesome, awesome way to just have stuff in the freezer that you've already worked hard on making. And the other thing with batch cooking too, it happened to me this past weekend. I was cooking a couple burgers for a Sunday, and then what I did, the barbecue was still on, so I chopped up some chicken breast into thinner slices, seasoned them 3 different ways so that I had different flavors going on. It's not all boring and the same. And I cooked that on the barbecue as well, put it in a storage container after I let it cool, and then I have chicken for my pasta or my sandwiches or wraps, or I can put it in a salad, whatever I want to do. I now have 2 or 3 days worth of extra proteins that I can throw into whatever I want. So batch cook. If you're gonna do the chopping, the cooking, the turning on of the stove or the barbecue anyway, cook a little extra, save yourself time for lunches and quick snacks throughout the week. If all of these tips or one of these tips even helps you out a little bit, I am so happy that you watched this video and you take that away with you. It took me years to sort of get into the flow of doing this kind of stuff, prepping, making sure I know what I'm going to the grocery store for. That is a huge one. Preparation is big because, again, if you come home with a bunch of stuff that you don't know what you're actually going to make with it, it's going to go to waste, and I don't want you to waste anything, and I don't want you to waste your money. So I hope that helped. Thank you for stopping by to the Silly Kitchen. I'm gonna go do some of my meal prep now and clean up some of these veggies. And away we go for another week of delicious dinners. Thank you so much for stopping by. Till next time.